Well, look, that's fascinating to hear of that experience, and I've not heard you describe it in that detail at all, but there are a number of elements that are very important in that. One of the things is your story shows that with trauma memories and trauma reactions, we're affected not so much by an event itself, but by how we remember it. And what you're describing is when you went through that EMDR process, it allowed you to have a different level of detachment about your reactions. And then you were processing the memory differently. So you were perceiving your reactions around the event and around what you associated to the event. Like this face became something else. Now, the face wasn't part of the original event, but it was an embellishment that had developed that symbolized something about your emotional reactions and something in your mind at the time. Now, for you to have been able to take that distance and then see something which was almost like a demonic face, and then it transforms into like a cartoon, like it just defuses the threat in such a vivid kind of way. That's a remarkable description of how a therapy process or an experience can transform. Not what happened itself, but how we process it, how we remember it, what associations we have for it. And this is the uplifting story of trauma reactions, because sometimes people come in as a client and they think, I can never change how I feel about this event because I can't change the event. You know, I lost someone very close to me, or I was nearly killed, or I lost my leg in this situation. Now I can't do this, that, and the other. But the person doesn't need to change the original event, which of course we can't. The key is changing the way we remember it and think about it and construe it and what associations we give to it. And that we can change any particular point in time. In fact, we can't not change that. Our views of past things are continuing to evolve. We might forget that sometimes how we remember something is not what happened itself, but how we last remembered it. And so our memories can become like a well-worn groove that we could be stuck with because we keep on remembering things a certain way. And we think that's what's happened that we can't change, but it's how we're remembering it that's stuck. And so what you're describing is a remarkable way of becoming unstuck with that and taking the heat out of it. So that's a very elegant description that you gave of like a remarkable process.
Well, to me, the more that we are able to recognise exactly what you've just said there, the more we're able to almost claim agency over it, which again helps with this whole idea of, I suppose, avoiding some of the more disordered ways of experiencing trauma.